Scientists home in on a recipe for entirely renewable energy. Tech Explorer reports Trinity College, Dublin. Scientists from Trinity College, Dublin are homing in on a recipe that would enable the future production of entirely renewable clean energy from which water would be the only waste product. It's about time. I'm really, as you can understand, surprised that this is coming out because it's been around for quite a few decades now. So why wasn't this implemented sooner? Now, using their expertise in chemistry, theoretical physics, and artificial intelligence, AI of course, the team is now fine-tuning the recipe with the genuine belief that the seemingly impossible will one day be reality. Initial work in this area, reported just under 2 years ago, yielded promise, and that promise has now been amplified significantly in the exciting work just published in leading journal Cell Reports Physical Science. Energy for a Song, the Theory and the Problem. Reducing humanity's carbon dioxide CO2 emissions is arguably the greatest challenge facing the 21st century civilization, especially given the increasing global population and the heightening energy demands that come with it. One beacon of hope is the idea that we could use renewable energy, electricity, to split water, H2O, to produce green, energy-rich H2, hydrogen, which could then be stored and used in fuel cells. This is an especially interesting prospect in a situation where wind and solar energy sources produce electricity to split water, as this would allow us to store energy for use when those renewable sources are not available. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. The main problem and the essential problem is this. Water is very stable and requires a great deal of energy to break up. There is no point using much more energy than you get back from such an effort. A particularly major hurdle is to clear this potential association with the production of oxygen, which is the bottleneck reaction in splitting water to produce hydrogen, H2. Although certain elements are effective in splitting water, such as ruthenium or iridium, these are prohibitively expensive and scarce for global commercialization. Other cheaper options tend to suffer in terms of their efficiency and or their robustness. In fact, at present, nobody has discovered catalysts that are cost-effective and robust for significant periods of time. So how do you solve this riddle to split up the water? Stop before you imagine lab coats, glasses, beakers, and funny smells. This work was done entirely through a computer. By bringing together chemists and theoretical physicists, the Trinity team behind the latest breakthrough combined chemistry smarts with very powerful computers to find one of the holy grails of catalysts. What did the team find? Then, 2 years ago, the team discovered that science had been underestimating the activity of some of the more reactive catalysts, and as a result, the dreaded overpotential hurdle seemed easier to clear. Furthermore, in refining a long acceptable theoretical model used to predict the efficiency of water-splitting catalysts, they made it far easier to search for the elusive green bullet catalyst, quote-unquote. Now, what's happening now? Their subsequent searches made using an automated combinational approach and advanced quantum chemical modeling have pinpointed 9 Earth-abundant combinations of metals and ligands which glue them together to generate the catalysts as highly promising leads for experimental investigation. Three metals stand out: chromium, manganese, and iron, for the team as being especially promising. Chromium, manganese, and iron. Thousands of catalysts based around these key components can now be placed in a melting pot and assessed for their abilities as the hunt for the magic combination continues, how to split the water. Max Garcia Melchor, Usher Assistant Professor of Chemistry at Trinity College in Dublin, is a senior author on the landmark research, and he says, 2 years ago, our work had made the hunt for the holy grail of catalysts seem a little more manageable. Now we have taken another major leap forward by narrowing the search area significantly and speeding up the way we search. Until recently, we were looking for a tiny needle in a huge haystack. After reducing the size of the haystack, we have now hoovered up plenty of the remaining hay. To put a sense of scale on this, 2 years ago we had screened 17 catalysts. Now we have screened 444, and believe it would not be long before we have a database with 80,000 screenable catalysts in it. How can we live sustainably? That is arguably the biggest and most pressing question facing the 21st century society. I believe researchers from all disciplines can help to answer that, and we feel a particular strength of our pursuit is the multidisciplinary approach we're taking. Michael Craig, PhD, candidate at Trinity, is the first author of the journal article, and he said, "It seems hopeful that science could provide the world with entirely renewable energy, and this latest work provides a theoretical basis to optimize sustainable ways to store this energy, and goes beyond that by pinpointing specific metals that offer the greatest promise. A lot of research has focused on the effective yet prohibitive expensive metals such as possible candidates, even though these are far too rare to do the heavy lifting required to store enough hydrogen for society. We're focused on finding a long-term viable option, and we hope we will." And that's what the team has said. This is from Trinity College Dublin. It's on Tech Explorer. I'm still thinking as I was reading this, especially towards the end, because they still haven't found the holy grail of catalysts to split the water. What would Nicholas Tesla have done? I'm sure he already had the free energy solution, but he was stopped. And he claims that the earth itself is full of energy, and the ether all around us, even the whole universe is full of ether, is full of energy. And he believed in the electromagnetic capacity of the universe, and of course our earth. So maybe and he says, look at frequencies. The frequencies, once you look at frequencies, that will change the whole nature of how you see physics. Perhaps they're going around this the wrong way, really. Anyway, I hope they do come up with something very simple and very cheap in order to split water, and the result would be, of course, after the splitting of hydrogen, and the water would reassemble itself again. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.